I mean, not this. I genuinely don't mean this as a selfish plug, but
He absolutely means it as a selfish plug. Absolutely.
we did an episode on Thursday where we went through all of the what we would think the most viral on the left clips, taking Charlie out of context, whether that be the brain processing power of black women. Not true.
Yeah,
Not at all true. He didn't say that. He talked about Sheila Jackson Lee and Michelle Obama and Ketanji Brown Jackson, who all have basically said we wouldn't have made it without affirmative action.
Now, did they say that affirmative action made them who they are, or that affirmative action just gave them the opportunity to display who they are? See, that's the difference. This is what Caucasity is. They try.
And Charlie's like, yeah, we know. It's not a surprise if anybody's listening to it. And by the way, we went through like our chats and what we were, in our show, what we were talking about before he said that. And we went through the black pilot thing. We've all been in the back of a plane when the turbulence hits, or when you're flying through a storm and you're like, I'm so glad I saw the guy with the right stuff and the square jaw get into the cockpit before we took off. And I feel better now.
No, I mean,
about
like,
that.
you want to go
See, this is what I mean by the wordplay of the Caucasity, or the E-dubs. I call them extra white. They do too much. They're extra white. But this is the mind state of the Caucasity. Now, he literally just said a square chin and the right stuff. The right stuff is a movie, came out like the 80s, I believe. It was about the not the Air Force, but NASA's first 15 years trying to go to space. But it was all white pilots. You dig what I'm saying? It's the right stuff. And it's so crazy. It's a movie. Malcolm X is a movie, but he has a scene there with him and Brother Baines, and they're talking about the white man's words and how you kind of have to use the white man's words against him. And if you look up the definition of white and black, you'll understand what I'm saying. So when they start to say stuff like the right stuff and square jaw, those are like those little indicators. And it might not be an indicator to a black person, but to somebody with the potential to have Caucasity, they pick up on it real quick.
crime. Like, I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Why would he think that? Why would he assume that this black person has to be qualified? And this is why I think that he had some. It's real hard not calling him a racist just because of the political power that he had. Like, that's what makes him a racist. I don't think if he was just a regular Joe Bro espousing these things, he would just be prejudiced. But because he has Turning Point USA, that political block, that's what makes him a racist. He has the power to control millions of people's votes, plain and simple. But this is my other question to the, I guess, the Caucasians, or the Caucasity folks, or the extra white folks as I call them. Why did Charlie Kirk never question white pilots? Because they crashed most of the planes, right? I can't recall a black pilot crashing a plane, but they're all white. And he never questioned the all-white pilot. Caucasity.
Well, that's the
you wouldn't have done
theory I was
that.
talking
You
about.
wouldn't have. You
No,
wouldn't
and
have done
that's
that
not
before.
that's not an immediate.
No, you wouldn't
That's
have
not.
Go back and rewind it again and look at the dude with the glasses. He looks so guilty. He looks like he feels guilty about the things that these folks are saying. Look at him again. Rewind it real quick. Please rewind it real quick. And watch as they're saying is how he looks.
Which was, he didn't worry about black pilots now because the black pilots now didn't have this quota system. Meanwhile, the United Airlines pilot or CEO is saying that each new pilot corps is going to be 50-50. Well, that's all well and good until you find out only 9% of people of color and women apply to be pilots.
And I will say, what must be kryptonite to the extra white man, the E-dub man, is black women. Like, we're talking about black people, period. You don't think black men want to fly planes? What about the Tuskegee Airmen? What about them? Like, this is crazy. And I'm sure we could go to the Air Force and find at least one black pilot. I'm just off the top of my head. I would think that we could find one black pilot in the Air Force. So why wouldn't they be eligible to get this job? And the pilots, it was 91% white men, to give people opportunities. And that's the thing, especially with pilots. I could understand if it was almost like a corporate job in a sense, but you have to meet certain FAA requirements before you can even obtain your pilot license to apply for a airline. So for them to say that is disingenuous, and this is what I mean with Caucasity, they know. They know what they're saying. Why would he specifically say 9% of black women only apply to be airline pilots when black men, he didn't mention that stat. And like, because you know why? The black woman is the biggest threat to Caucasity because she knows the truth. She raised them up since they were children. She knows their insecurities, all that. And I don't technically mean like she just knows it, but they know she is the literally the mother of America. For real. I know she became the mammy, but she's the mother of America.
New
Yeah.
pilots. 91% of the pilot population happens to be white men.
I mean, look at that number, 91%. Why you think it's so high? Do you think that black people didn't fill out for those positions and at all? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is how did it get so high? You don't think black people or Asian people or Hispanic people or women want to fly? He said men, literally. He didn't say white women or white people. He said white men. That's a monopoly. Like, that's what diversity, equity, and inclusion was made for. To level the playing field, because there's nothing wrong with diversity. It is literally in our Constitution. E pluribus numeral, out of many, one. That's what America is. It's all different shapes, colors, genders, but we all have one common thread. We're Americans, and MAGA has forgot that.
So you're telling me, in that instance, that you're going to populate 50% of your pilots out of 9% of the population?
You see what I mean? Like you see how they use the percentages instead of raw numbers? Like that's how they get you. But 91% is awfully high. We can't drop it down to 50. I know you might get a little bit afraid, buddy. But those pilots have to meet certain qualifications before they can even obtain their pilot's license. So you shouldn't be worried. But the caucasity, it drives you crazy. It makes you inferior. It makes, but it's real weird. It's like you're trying to coat. That's what it is. The caucasity coats the inferiority that you have in yourself. Man, I need to make $100 million off this. I know I didn't come up with the word, but good Lord, that's what it is. It's it's your whiteness wrapped in inferiority. Mm, I like that.
Of new pilots? How are you not going to lower standards in that?
You cannot lower standards when obtaining the FAA pilot's license. There is no way. He is absolutely 100% lying to you, and it's because he has caucasity.
Instance. So Charlie was saying, if you're going to move forward with this, I might have suspicion when I get on that plane because I'm going to know that you're going to have to lower standards. So whatever the issue was,
Wrong.
there is a very logical explanation for why Charlie said this. They obscure the truth, but like just so brazenly lie. To your point, like how do you even make that point with a straight face? Like, did you not just see what has been, galvanized around the world? Do you think you could just repeat the lie enough and it'll become the truth? Like, not this time. We all saw it.
You lie enough, so why can't we do it? We don't have that square chin or the right stuff. Huh? As in closing, as in always, I appreciate y'all, and this is your moron with the conscience, aka conscious moron. And remember, without you, there would be no moron. I appreciate y'all. Please like, subscribe, and share if you made it this far. Peace.